Check out our friends at Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery in the beautiful hill country just down the road in Spicewood.
Go there for cocktails, live music, and fun times. Plus, grab a bottle to go.
They're family and dog friendly with 15 acres of games and hill country views, award-winning craft spirits. They have it all.
Bring your pack. It's a really cool vibe. There's something for everyone.
Ask for Iron Wolf at local bars and restaurants. Check them out online and social media.
Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery, bold spirits, Texas attitude.
You're listening to Cobracast.
The cobra injects deadly venom through its fangs, like toxins through a pair of hypodermics.
This is the Cobracast, and here's your host, Bobby Sharron.
Please welcome to episode number 368 of the Cobracast podcast with me. We're going to go undesignated driver tonight because I'm sipping a little bit. Anyways, we got the boys from Bloody and Bruised, the untold story of the back room here tonight. We're going to be giving away. We got a giveaway coming up here in a little bit. And we're going to world premiere the first trailer from this great film. Anyways, Boudreaux's in the house. John's in the house. Adam's in the house. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey man, we're doing very well. We're very excited to be here and world premiering the trailer for the first time. So
this is going to go worldwide. I mean, that's the thing about The Room. There's a lot of people from like all over the world that played that joint, and you would always see on their albums, thanks to the back room and everything else. So I'm sure there's going to be people watching this from all over the place. So.
Well, that's the hope. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really excited about this movie. When we first started this, it was a little project like this big, and now it's this big.
It got really big. Because I remember, was it 6 months ago when you first announced it?
It was November.
Yeah. It was actually it was right around Christmas, right?
Oh, true.
It was right around Christmas that we announced that we're going to be dropping it. But we've been working on this for maybe 2 years. Quietly working on this
over
for 2
Taco
years.
Tuesday, right?
Yeah, tacos.
2.5 years with things coming in between. Every now and then we'd put it on the back burner, then come back in and work on it again, a little at a time. Our list was growing. Yeah, I had a big chart that we started out with, and they would joke with me that I was kind of putting together a murder, and I was trying to solve a murder.
Scene. Yeah.
It was a crime. It was a big web chart.
Yeah,
that we eventually went digital, but. Yeah, it was building on that and talking about that we were going to do it, and then eventually we kicked it off in November.
Yeah, with pre-production, and we got the green light in December, right? I think it was, and really quickly we went from, all right, well, we'd like to do this, we'd like to do that, and we'd like to talk to these people, and next thing you know, once we got the green light, we had shoots booked. We had a couple interviews. Our very first interview was Joey from Un Loco.
Awesome.
Joey Duenas. Yeah. And right away, we started doing interviews back to back on the weekends and pretty much any time that we could book somebody. And it's been pretty much that ever since. I mean,
so whose idea was it to do this?
Well, it was my idea. A friend of mine, a buddy of mine, Jeff Sandman, he directed the documentary about the Saxon pub.
Okay.
That came out. Maybe two years ago or so?
2-3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and I helped out on that project.
Oh, cool.
I did the behind-the-scenes featurette on the DVD, and I've known Jeff for 20 years. And so while he was doing that documentary, I was like, man, I'd really like to do a documentary about the back room. I live down the street from it. I used to go there all the time. The only the difference in what we were doing, though, is that he was doing a documentary about a club that was still around. And and for me, it was like, well, I'd have to be doing a documentary about something that's, been closed for 15 years.
Right.
And anything that would exist would be all archival footage. And, even the building's not there anymore. So it's going to be a bigger challenge, I think. And so that's kind of when John, Ju, and I, we started talking about it a little bit, and we were kind of just, well, if we were to do this, how would we do this? Who would we get involved?
Yeah.
And then little by little, we started building a laundry list of this is who we'd like in it. For sure this guy, for sure this person, for sure this. And then we slowly worked on it for 2 years. And then when, like I said, when we got greenlit, then it kind of just blew up. And now, we're 6 months into shooting?
6 months.
6 months into shooting. We're at 40 plus interviews.
Yeah.
And, now, now we're at the point where, the real challenge is going to be in post-production, where we got to squeeze 33 years of history into a 2-hour film. So, but it's a challenge that I gladly accept. I'm really, my background is television.
Okay.
And TV production. So in the world of TV, you have to learn, how to turn around stuff quickly. You have to shoot quickly, edit quickly, and stuff like that. The average documentary takes about 4 years,
Right.
We're trying to do that in half the time. We're trying to do this in half the time. So, it's pretty ambitious for us to say that, well, we really want to get this done, final cut, by September of next year, so that we can get it eligible for the following year's festival circuit. So that's where we're at, and that's where it came from. But I mean, it's all come down to the crew, Adam and John as our spectacular producers in getting this project done. We have an amazing crew of DPs, including Jeff Sandman. Who else? We got Brian Manone. We've got Chisholm Guitrin, Robert Moore, Jacob Stone, and then Chris Hardy, and then we've got a whole crew, a second crew of backup guys, second crew guys, Ryan Smith and Donnie Kavanaugh, and just
David Whitfield,
and just like all these people that are really passionate about this project, and the whole slew of PAs that are just like, well, the PAs, they weren't even born when the backroom was around,
Right.
And so they're all just like, man, we really dig this idea. We really dig this project. So we want to be involved in it, and we want to be a part of it.
And they always say, like, I wish that I had been around when the backroom, because they hear the stories as we're doing it, and they just, that was the whole point.
Yeah, that was one of my founding reasons of why I wanted to do this. Was at the sake of sounding old. It was because, I would see that kids would go to emos.
Yeah.
And I would want, and I've said this to many times, where I'm like, I wanted to grab these kids and say, do you realize what was here before emos?
Right.
Do you realize the holy ground that you're fucking standing on? And do you realize what this pole means? And,
the almighty pole.
Yeah. And that was basically my first kind of thought is why we should do this. And so, so it's been a long time in the making, but it's been a fun ride. It's been a really fun ride for all of us. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't know about that famous pole. Is the pole really didn't come into the back room. It was always there, but it was the second incarnation of that stage.
Right.
Because remember the first, they had it rope. They had
It was angled.
Yeah.
It was angled. You know what the funny thing about that is? When they tore that stage out and they made it bigger, my band took that drum riser up to our rehearsal space, and I don't know what happened to it. I remember I played on it for rehearsals and stuff, but when they took off to go to California, I think it just got left somewhere. I don't know whatever happened to it.
We've been slowly, believe it or not, we've been finding remnants of the actual back room here and there in doing interviews. Somebody would say, hey, who has this sign, or who has this, and who has a piece of the bar. And I mean, obviously the fucking pole is still there in emos.
That's the only thing there.
That's the only thing. I mean, I don't think that's going to go anywhere. But
structural.
But I mean, it's funny how people they talk to us at interviews and they say, oh man, like, well, one, they tell us, you know who you need to interview is this person. You know who you need to talk to is this, and that, or this whole thing is just growing organically.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's so great about it. It's Tammy, our co-producer Tammy Moore, who is involved from day one, that because we knew we wanted somebody that was on the inside. We knew we wanted somebody that worked there, that knew the inner workings of it. On paper, she gave us on paper a timeline of the back room. So we knew how to drive interviews. I knew how to organize the shoots. But at each shoot, each one's different, and each one gives us, little gold nuggets here and there, and each one leads us to other interviews that really kind of, have been building the story. So it's been a really, really cool thing.
So the venues that you're like filming at, everybody seems like they're welcoming you with open arms on this, because you got some pretty cool places that you're filming at. So
that started with Adam.
Yeah, with Adam.
Well, when we started in November, Joey was our first interview, and then Clint Baker from the Riddling Kids was our second interview. And what that started was, let's start working on a teaser, or start working toward a trailer, and do a couple of interviews here, a couple of interviews there, and then we never stopped. It was like every weekend we were like, oh, we heard this story, let's reach out to that guy. Or Joey says he knows this person, or Clint knows this person, and we would just keep going. And
it looks like you're not done yet either.
We're not done yet either.
Not done yet,
yeah.
But we were everything was shut down. So then
it's tough.
So while I was building that web chart, then we had Adam, and I was like, hey, can you find us the locations? So we set out to build out what we call the Army. So the Army is all our DPs, all our photographers, all our PAs. And we have this, we had to have a group of people that we had to choose from to make sure that everybody's available, or that we have a full crew at every shoot. And then Adam would put together the locations, which were closed at the time. So we were booking 2 weeks in advance these interviews. And then it turns out the stuff started opening again toward the end. Now that we're toward the end, it's a lot harder to book a place and find a place that's open during the hours that we needed to be and whatnot.
Yeah, and they're even opening
for the most part,
too.
Yeah. But for the most part, we were able to lock in all those places, and we're lucky that we did. I don't think we can do it today.
No, the timing was perfect.
Yeah.
For everything that we're doing.
That's the whole thing, like, because you did a majority of it, actually all of this thing during COVID, which is crazy in itself,
That was definitely a challenge that we were kind of just discussing how are we going to do this, and how can we do this safely, but also get the content we need. And that was a challenge at every shoot, because we had to, like, at the very first shoot, I think it was with Joey, that, I had my mask on, and I'm like, all right, so when did you kind of learn about it, and he's like, dude, I can't hear you, so, but we had to find workarounds, you kind of do. And so, it was definitely a challenge to do this during COVID, but in a way, it kind of gave us a lot of freedom with moving around to different locations, yes, but also because people weren't booked. A lot of these musicians weren't booked, and they were saying, yeah, man, what are you doing? Your documentary about the back room? Fuck yeah, I want to be in it. But like, I'm available this weekend. Come on over, So in a way, it kind of helped us out.
Yeah. The musicians were itching to do something.
Oh yeah.
So one of the cool things was when we put the lav mic on Matt Noveski from Blue October, and we're micing him up, and we're putting the little pack in his back, and he's like, dude, I haven't felt this in over a year, because it's like your in-ear. So, everybody was just itching to do something. People weren't doing anything. Everybody been tired of being home, and we were kind of like the savior that came in and was like, let's talk music.
Yeah. And then what we found was that at a lot of these interviews, it was really therapeutic for a lot of them, not just from talking about music, but a lot of them talking about the back room.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, and I remembered this, and they'd bring up old stories, and then they would a lot of them, would kind of just meander off into story number 1, story number 2, story number 3, and at the end of the interview, and this happened multiple times, at the end of the interview, they'll tell us, man, it was great reminiscing about the back room. I hadn't thought about that place.
Yeah, out of the the 368 episodes we've done up here, I mean, the back room comes up in probably maybe 300 of them. You know what I mean? It's just all of us that are around the same age.
Yeah.
And we're all talking about stories about the room.
Yeah.
The bathroom or whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you wanted to call it back in the day.
Yeah. Everybody's got a story about the trough. Everybody's got a story about the bar. Everybody's got a story about the game side or the parking lot or the fucking pole. So.
I have more stories about that place than, oh man, I remember the first. This story's been told a few times, but I don't think you guys have heard it. I moved here in December of 1991. Like I think it was the 17th or 18th. So anyways, had nothing to do. Anyways, New Year's Eve, which is like 2 weeks later, Toys and Pariah were up there on New Year's Eve. So that was the first time I went to the back room. Didn't know anybody, And actually, I got a flyer from a band looking for a drummer. That's how I got into my first sort of kind of band, was that night. And I was only here for like 2 weeks. But that was the first show that I saw at the Room.
Yeah.
And it was and I lived way north at the time. I was up near like, just way north, near Round Rock at the time. And it was old school. I mean, you're talking 91. You're talking just like 30 years, And I'm talking like, he had a map. I had to fucking pull out a map and try to find where the place was. I had no clue where Riverside was or...
I think that's the year right after the upper deck was installed, wasn't it? Or it was supposed to be good until 1990, I think.
I don't remember.
That was the year the Use Your Illusions were dropped.
Use Your Illusions dropped.
In September.
Yeah, right when I left Connecticut. I remember that one, those two albums, and I think Skid Row's record came out. Yeah. Slave to the Grind was right around there. And Metallica was, the Black Album was right around there. I remember because I listened to all that shit coming down here.
Oh, yeah.
And the Red Hot Chili Peppers, that was another big one.
That's when you would MapQuest stuff. And then you had all the pages.
Dude, I had a map. Like a fold-out map. I remember pulling over, trying to find the place. I was there 2 weeks. I had no idea where anything was. Wow. I finally found the joint. From what I remember, that was, I don't have to ask Jason or one of those guys about it, but I think that was a 3-band bill. I don't remember the first band, but I remember Pariah and I remember Dangerous Toys.
That would have been a good
that's
show.
Fucking killer. Yeah. Yeah, I remember... I don't necessarily remember the first time I walked in there, but I did. I moved here in '99, and I lived off Burton Drive, and I lived in that whole slew of apartments with all the college kids. And one of my buddies that lived across the street, he was like, "Hey, there's this place within walking distance called the Back Room," and I was like, "Okay." And they have live music. Oh, that sounds good. They have dollar long necks. I'm like, let's fucking go. And I think they had like, at the time they only had, I think they had 50-cent shots till 10 o'clock or something like that. So, yeah, man, it was a magical place with like, I mean, I remember seeing so many bands there where it was just overwhelming. Like, I mean, even thinking about it now, I'm just like, well, I remember this show. But in doing our research, we find remnants of ads or flyers or something like that.
I think I got some ads for you, actually. I kept all my scrapbooks and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
we find stuff. And I'm like, I was at this show, like that. These guys, I will say this this is a very daunting task, but these guys actually did it. These guys actually went to the Chronicle and pulled out the entire Chronicle archive.
16 hours, or what was
it?
From
16
from
hours?
1981 to 2006.
And took
so when it starts at 81.
And photographed every single backroom ad in the Chronicle. Lord. So we have that on file. Not that we're going to use every single thing, but we have everything. Yeah. I mean, but that just goes to show you just the arduous tasks of research and homework that's been going into this film. It's not just we're not just kind of like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to make a fucking movie about the background. We're actually this is a real fucking movie. So we're really putting the work into it. The entire crew puts the entire work into it, every single shoot. So everybody's really passionate about it. So I'm really fortunate that I've got these two guys. We got Tammy, and we got a great crew of just camera people and PAs and sound people and everybody that's just involved. And that's what, we've get it multiple times where, we interview a musician and they say, wow, man, you guys are actually really professional, like you're not, slapjack kind of thing.
We smell like Dillards.
Oh, yeah, we all smell like Dillards. You guys smell fucking good.
That was Nathan, by the way.
Yeah, Nathan.
Oh, Patchouli, that guy, let me tell you something. He comes in here, this place smells like patchouli for at least 2 weeks. I don't mind it, I'm just saying, but it's like, man, it's that old weed head smell, the old pothead smell.
Doesn't mask anything.
He's like
weed
he goes,
patchouli.
What the hell? You guys smell like fucking Dillards. And then he posted, he did like a little live stream. He was like, I'm sitting here with these guys. They smell like Dillards.
Yeah, he went live on that.
It's our running joke with Nathan.
Joke with Nathan.
I'll tell you what, dude, I have more fun with that guy. I mean, I love him to death. I mean, it's like, I really want to get together like a once-a-month podcast with him just to hang out and just talk to him because the guy is so funny.
We became really good friends after that. And
yeah, he's a great dude.
We text all the time, just randomness.
Yeah. We're going to be shooting a show with him in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah. We're going to shoot a show at Come and Take It Live.
I'm going to be over it. Actually, that's actually going to be the first show that I'm going to go to, like, since the pandemic,
May 8th
started. Yeah, May 8th.
Yeah, we're going to be recording that show.
Yeah, we're going to be shooting a multi-camera shoot. It's going to be good.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But one of the things at the Chronicle was it's not microfilm. Like we were going,
it's actual paper.
It's actual chronicles in albums.
God.
In books, like about like about
It's
this
like
big.
the Britannica. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it
yeah.
was. You open the
you
doors.
would open books and you go through every chronicle, and they have it all chronicled.
Yep.
Jeez. How big is that room?
It's in a what
in a
do they
hallway.
call it? They called it the vault.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's got a vault.
Everybody's got
Except
a
for
vault.
me, I don't have one. This is it. This is what you see is what you get in this place.
They would send me photos at the end of the day, and it's just they said, "Oh, we're doing it. What'd you guys say? We're doing our homework," and it's just
Yeah, it's
stacks of
stacks.
books, and
That was
literally
just like the first year.
The cool thing is going through the 80s, and you can ask him because I would try and keep up with him, and Adam was like 2 books ahead of me. But I was stuck on like ads like E.T. come into the theater, and I was like, "Dude, it was 1982. Check it out!" And I couldn't get past the movies, and then he would just skip right to the music. So I was like, "I'm sorry, dude. I'm
like, you know
squirreled
what we
over
have
here."
here?
Yeah.
It's funny.
But those were good. Those were, and then we would get to the 90s and like, "Oh, Days of Thunder." That's when that came. And then, and then I was like, "I got to stop looking at the movies because I can't focus."
Hey, you got to look at that stuff when you can get to it, right? So
Yeah, well, we
I
could.
finally
So
developed a
so how
system,
do you go through to pick some stuff out of all that? I mean, it must be tough.
Well, we had a system that we created on a whim, and it was basically he would see an ad, and then the way the backroom would work is you see the band's coming. I don't know if you remember how.
Oh yeah,
used to-
100%.
So the band's coming is just a little text. The band's getting closer. It's a bigger logo. The band's on that week. It might be a picture. So we would find an ad that we wanted, and they were like, "Okay, can you get a better one?" And then we'd pick the best of all the ones leading up. We'd try to go find the week of, and that's when the pictures would be there, or
Yeah,
the
some
little
bold
they would add
color,
stuff to it, or they make
So those New Year's Eve shows with Dangerous Toys, those would
Those
be
are the
like
big ones.
we
Yeah.
have
The one you
that
went to.
show that you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, we have that on the Chronicle ad. So
Man, I just remember I was actually thinking about it today because I was going back in my brain, going, man, like the best shows that I saw there. I remember, Rob Halford's Fight was a big one for me
Yeah.
because I love that damn band.
Yeah.
And I remember my old singer. We both went, and we're both big fans. And he was more into moshing than I was. And they actually had a big mosh pit in that place for that band for Fight. It was crazy.
Yeah, we got photos of that. I mean, we have photos of that. I mean, a lot of the bigger shows, any of these shows that you name, the thing is that because we've gotten such great support from people.
Oh, yeah.
They've been saying, "I was at that show. I have photos," or "I have this." And some of them are even like, "I have video," like, now granted, not a lot,
Right,
but,
yeah.
but we do have some. Of course, one of our big heroes in this entire project that we could not be doing this without is Dave Pruitt.
Right, yeah.
So, we have 40 plus hours of interviews, but I have well over 150 hours of band footage, courtesy of Dave Pruitt.
Yeah, Capsize and Raw Time and all that stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
So, I mean, and that's just him. That's not.
Oh, yeah.
That's not including the people randomly. Hey, here's my sister's band, or and then we do get a couple random people that are like, "Hey, I played there once in 1992."
It's funny you mentioned that. When I was talking to Dave, man, this had to be 3-4 years ago. I had this band I played with for a very, very, very short time, and we played a Monday night over at Steamboat when it was Steamboat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to him. He goes, "I think I taped that show." This was like 1992, 92, 93. And at the time, I was up in Washington State for my job. I had to go up there for like a week. So I'm texting back and forth with him. And like in an hour after talking to him, he actually put that footage, he went and found it, put that footage up on Facebook. And I got to watch a half-hour set that I played almost 30 years ago or whatever it was. And it was weird because I don't look the same. I mean, I must have... Tommy Lee looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger compared to what I looked like. I was anorexic, skinny as fuck, man. But it was crazy. Dave's got all that stuff.
Dude, he's like, we actually went and shot his interview at his little studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he showed us surrounded with all his archives and everything like that. But he's got some crazy system of organizing all that. But it works, and
he remembers
everything.
Well, he found my stuff within like an hour.
Yeah,
he knows where it all is. It could to us, it's boxes and a bunch of tapes, but he can go right to it and dig out whatever. If you name something.
And now I've come to the point where I'll message him or email him or whatever and say, "Hey, Dave, I'm looking for this band from this year." He's like, "Oh, I'm on it," and next day it's there, So he's a magical man.
And he's still out there filming bands.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't seen him lately, but I know he's still doing it. So
Well, he shoots some of them in his studio. I don't know if he's done that lately, but he shoots them in his little whatever it's called.
Last time I saw him in action, he was recording one of my new favorite bands, Rickshaw Billy Burger Patrol.
Yeah.
I actually contacted him to do the podcast. So if you know those guys, tell them I want them up here.
They're great.
They're great. I because of him, I started listening to the album, and then they started playing it on one of the afternoon shows on 93.7. That's the intro song, and I was like, "Who is that?" And then it was them, and then I was like, "Oh, that's the band that Adam talks about all the time." And so now I want to see them. Yeah, that's old school surfer.
They play almost every
rock.
weekend at the Far Out right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about Austin now. Like even though COVID is, it's kind of on its downside now, but I'm saying there's so many great new original bands out there. And my thing is, I'm all about trying to get the newer bands up here that I haven't had yet.
Right.
And I saw so many people on the trailer. I've had a ton of people on the trailer been up here, but I want to get the other ones, that haven't been, just to shoot the shit with them after all these years,
Yeah.
So that's going to be my next goal is to go through And you guys did a rough cut of the movie. I just want to watch it so I can kind of jot some names down,
And I think you got our buddies, the Immortals, coming in.
Well,
that's right. Next week.
Yeah.
That's
next week. Yeah.
Next week. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, those guys. That's actually where. They're playing tonight, and that's actually where I got this jacket from. I was
going to ask you where you got that.
Yeah, I'm wearing Zombie Peep Show, by the way.
Nice.
But yeah, Zombie Peep Show is associated with the Immortals, and they're actually playing tonight right now.
They're playing with Tarantula Mountain down at Come and Take It Live.
Come and Take It Live. I saw. Yeah, their ad popped up on my feed today.
Yeah.
So speaking of them, Sarah's what's her Scara. She has her own little show. She's an actress for a lot of the stuff that we do with Penny Rock.
Yeah, and actually not only that, and then so we have done one of their music videos, and actually we have a production coming up for a new music video with them for the Immortals coming up in June as well. So we're not just doing the movie. I mean, we also have all these other side projects and shorts and music videos and blah 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 blah.
And you may or may not see her in the trailer.
I'm not saying anything.
And I got in trouble for that, by the way. So. Putting a logo over somebody. That was just a joke. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I'm like, no, I'm like it.
You can talk to her about it when she's in here. No, I'm kidding. She did.
I watched one
I don't
episode.
Think anybody saw that poster.
It was only up for like a day, though.
I think
I didn't know what to use. I'm like, I got to put something up here. And I was kind of just messing around, I watched one of her episodes where she does the... from the bathtub,
Tub of Terror.
Tub of Terror, yeah, where she does that from the bathtub.
Yeah. I'm guest directing one of those episodes in a couple of weeks.
This episode's gonna be kind of short. These bubbles won't last forever.
We need more bubbles.
We just always, and that was the first thing when I sent you the message. I was like, I just don't want anybody to think like, oh, we're just gonna cover somebody up, and so I was like, oh, we'll do something cool if you want us to.
Are you filming those?
Which ones?
The ones in the bathtub? Are you doing those?
No.
I don't know.
No. He might.
No, Don. Like I said, no. They have their own producer. Actually, their
Donnie.
DP, their DP is one of our camera guys. But I am guest directing one of those episodes in a couple of weeks, so I can do my own version of that. But
Corey, who runs. The Bat City Scaregrounds, it's going to premiere this October down there in Kyle, right?
Yeah.
And so Corey actually helps us out as he's a composer.
Corey from the Immortals is actually the guy that's doing all of the original music for our film. So
cool.
So he's the one. So a lot of the music that you actually hear in the trailer, that's actually Corey's music and the Immortals playing. So yeah.
Well, it's almost 8:00, fellas.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So do we want to run this right now?
I'd say yeah.
Hey, I gotta say one thing really quick.
Sure thing.
We're gonna be doing a great giveaway here in a little bit. Now, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on the Cobracast forum, I can't see your comments. So the deal is, if you want to try to take a stab at one of these gifts here, because I can only see the comments from one page, please move over to the Cobracast podcast with Bobby Sharron page on Facebook. And I'll see all your comments because we're going to have a trivia question, and whoever hits it first, gets it right first, and on the feed is going to win the prize. We'll get your name and address and all that fun stuff, and we'll send it out to you. So, anyways, let's do this trailer. So, anything about the trailer before we roll it? Everybody's excited for this thing.
Yeah, everybody's really excited. I mean, and what I do want to say is we are still in production. We are still shooting. You know, we haven't even gotten to post-production yet. But we know that this fan base is very hungry to see something. We have been shooting for a couple months, so this is kind of our way of saying, look, we haven't just been bullshitting you. There's actually something here.
It's the real deal.
And the main thing that I really wanted to get across is we are actually telling a story, a bona fide history tale that incorporates people's lives and, you know, and how much it meant, this establishment meant to a lot of people. Because obviously the one of the big pitfalls about doing a music documentary is that, you know, it could be turned into a bunch of anecdotes and musical performances. That's kind of like one of the things that you don't want in a legit music documentary. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So we really are trying to tell a story. We're not done yet. So we still got lots to go. We still have lots of pre-production, we still got lots of shooting to do before we go into post-production. So, you know, if our timeline works out right and if our funding works out right, then our goal is to get this out, final cut, by September of next year. So other than that, I'm really proud of this trailer. I think the guys are too, and I think we've been, you know, this is going to fucking kick
And
some
thank
ass.
you for doing it here, man. This is awesome.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Here we go, people. Bloody and Bruised, the untold story of the back room.
The Ramones, Motorhead,
Dynamite Boy, Reeling Kids,
Near Dark,
Marilyn Manson,
Tool,
Pearl Jam,
Born to Lose,
Pantera,
Typo Negative,
Pariah,
Loco,
Dangerous Toys.
You just never know who you were going to see there.
A certain club called the Back Room for almost 30 years. And what we've been asking people to call in for is a backroom story. If you're not familiar with the Back Room, then just go ahead and hang up.
Back Room was a music venue that survived miraculously for more than 30 years.
You walk in that front door and you had the split.
If you went over to the left, you could go have some drinks and play some video games or pool.
If you went to the right, that was the live music side.
It was basically known as a hard rock heavy metal place in like the 80s and 90s.
The place looked and smelled like we did.
It constantly smelled like bleach.
Hot dogs and old beer.
Piss, cigarettes, and vomit. You can imagine putting all that in a cup and going, ooh, that's the smell of the back room.
CBGBs and brownies and stuff in New York.
It was our Sunset Strip of Austin.
The back room was all of that wrapped in one venue.
Everybody else has that same thing that I want, the fucking rock.
Drink up, back room, I heard we sound better.
Literally carried the rock and roll scene for all of Austin.
I have to say that we have a lot of good talent happening out there right now.
They did country at one point.
We had a play set of 125 songs.
They've done hip hop.
True Live Crew show brought in a whole different audience.
They weren't afraid of anything. If you can do a Pantera show, you're going to survive a Public Enemy show.
Best sounding club in town, period.
The kick drum busting you in the back and coming through your body and hitting the people in front of you in the face.
Every show I saw there I was deaf.
Your balls would be like...
It also had super cheap drinks. Got 10-cent drink nights on Friday nights.
Oh, have you ever played the back room? Oh yeah, the pole.
There's a fucking pole in the middle of the fucking stage.
One time we had to Vaseline it.
Whenever the asteroid hits Earth, there's gonna be that goddamn pole floating around there.
And then the bathrooms. Oh, the bathrooms.
This place is gross.
But it was home.
Jason McMasters from the Dangerous Toys.
Jason McMaster really had the rock and roll game down.
What are you gonna call your band? He says Dangerous Toys and click.
They were on MTV and they were on the radio.
Jason McMaster and Mark Geary from the band Dangerous Toys.
When I first moved to town, all I kept hearing about was the band Pariah.
We got signed at the Back Room.
That was a band that could have, should have, and would have, and they didn't. And it wasn't their fault.
Sims passed away, complete and utter shock.
That was crushing.
He was more of a friend than a GM.
He wanted to help bands.
There was a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
If a Motley Crue video could be real life, that's what the bathroom was like.
I remember a gunshot going off. The guy shot into the ceiling like 2 to 4 times.
Lots of people went to jail that night.
This guy comes up to try to get in the lighting booth, and I had a toolbox there. Hit him right in the head.
It was just chaos.
Welcome to the back room.
And I look over and like, oh.
It's Tom Araya, dude.
And I got to sit next to Lenny and watch him play these video games.
The same amount of people that were at the fucking back room were in my fucking living room.
Peter walks over to the mic. Shut the fuck up.
Once again, putting the back room on the map.
And if it wasn't for the back room, I'm not sure where my career would be.
That's what the back room was. It was like a dirty little girlfriend that your dad secretly wanted to be with. As your mom just called her that white puta. That's what the back room is, cochino.
That's a big old cut. Awesome, guys.
There it is.
Yep.
The official world premiere. You guys did a great job with it, man. It looks awesome.
Thank you.
Nathan was the star. I hate to tell you, Nathan's the star.
I think he knew that from day one.
I like when he first got a hold of me to say that he wanted to be in it. He was like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell his backstory without you need a little Nathan in this."
No kidding. Got to give him a little Nathan.
Yeah.
So is this thing gonna be rated like R or something, or?
Oh, most likely.
Yeah.
Like an unrated version, where you could do the DVD or the Blu-ray, be like an unrated version of it.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a little bit of drug use, and we do have obviously there's a lot of cussing. And
what's really weird about the whole drug use thing? That was like more in the women's bathroom. That really wasn't in the guys' bathroom at all, from what I remember.
Yeah, I mean, I
we can talk about it. Doesn't really matter now.
I knew it was happening, and I would just see people disappear, and I never really partook in that kind of at the time. I didn't really. I was like, no, I'm good, man. You go do your thing.
Because you'd walk by the girls' bathroom and the door would open up. You see them all fucking doing blow on the fucking, but you never see the dudes were just, the bathroom that didn't really have an area for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was all just one stall with no door.
No doors. Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah. And then the trough.
I think basically you just wanted to go pee and go in, get out.
Get the hell out.
If you did it in the men's room, then you were super creative.
Yeah,
I remember that. You would have to have found a way to do it. But yeah.
Well, the best thing was when you're drunk and you're trying to take a pee and hang a flyer at the same time. That was right in front of you.
This looks like a good spot.
The whole back room, unreal, man.
Yeah, man. So it's been fun. So we're really proud of the trailer, and we're hopefully it's gonna get us a lot of eyeballs, a lot more eyeballs.
Yeah.
And really kind of like I said, really help us tell the story of what this place meant, because I think. The underlying theme, if you really look at this and you break this down, I think that if you look at the underlying theme of this film and what this place meant is acceptance. This place was it was a place that, anybody could go to, and it doesn't matter if you're, if you were completely broke ass chump kind of that had $2 in his pocket, or if you had a shitload of, if you had money with cars and girls, and everybody was accepted there, and then and it was that's what made it magical. And there were some kick-ass shows, and there was and then all these different types of people there, and everybody that has gone to the back room has a memory of it, and I think that's going to be the challenge of trying to capture this in 2 hours of 33 years worth of history.
That's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Big time. Hey, so is there anybody that you contacted that really wasn't into doing it, or, I mean, you don't have to give names. I mean, because I know it's you want to call them out.
Right. But we've had two that I remember right off the bat. One who doesn't. It's not that they don't want to be a part of it. They're like, I'm not much into nostalgia.
Yeah.
Or I just don't want to be on camera, but I'll help you with.
Yeah,
with stories.
We've had a couple of people do that. Well, I don't want to be on camera, but I'll help you with, here's some photos, some videos, here's some stories.
That's cool. At least they're contributing somehow.
Yeah, I mean, some people get camera shy, and
I know that in here. It's kind of crazy. People just get really weird about it.
Yeah. So
or you send out we send out the same kind of template to everybody just to cover all our ground, and some people think it's too long and they won't read the entire thing, and they'll just I'll get back to you, and then you never hear from them again.
Well, I think a lot of people, I'm not saying a lot, a few people probably think, you hear so many projects not say like this, but just any kind of project or a podcast or a YouTube show or whatever that makes it a couple of episodes and you never hear about it again.
Right.
And something like this, which is, I mean, I saw the flyer, not the flyer, but some kind of ad for it, 6-8 months ago.
Yeah.
About how you guys were going to do it. I said, man, it's a cool fucking idea. I hope it happens,
Yeah.
It's you always hope it happens, because a lot of times it doesn't. and you guys are just killing it right now.
And I think that's one of the main, I say this time and time again, is I think that right off the bat, so many people have access to video now, or to making videos, that everybody thinks it's just the flavor of the week or whatnot. It's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
It's just, we're going to film a little segment about the back room, or we're going to go out and just shoot it, however, and not actually do it professionally. And then they see things like our teaser or the trailer, and then the dichotomy from the old footage to the footage that we're doing now, and then they're like, oh, these guys are a real production company out there making a real product. And then people start coming back, and they're like, okay, well, now I want to be a part of it. Or
I was super stoked when you called me to do this. I was like, man, because I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, man, way back then, I'm like, man, I need to get these guys up and talk about this, because man, I was, I lived at the Room for a while myself, and my bands played there and everything else. So is there anybody on the list you haven't gotten yet that's
coming up, or
not coming up, that you haven't?
Well, we do.
That you haven't contacted yet?
Well, we do have our Holy Grail interview, and we're working on it. We have reached out, but
to his wife,
his manager, but we're working on trying to get Phil Anselmo.
Oh shit!
And he lives in New Orleans, so he does know about us. I do know that.
Right.
He does know about this movie. It's just a matter of, well, we know that he's on tour right now with the Illegals, and so if we can coordinate something, if we can if he just says like, hey, come on up on Saturday, we'll fucking figure it out how to get there on Saturday.
He's not far.
Yeah,
he's not a far one.
But as of right now, he's kind of my Holy Grail interview. I think. I mean,
Eddie Vedder would be another one that I'd love to get.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder would be a great one too, because he's got a great story
that pops up almost in every interview. Yeah. And then some of our other ones that we'd like to have had aren't around anymore. So
that's the whole thing. Is there's a lot of people that that aren't here that should have been in it. You know what I mean? It's for sure. It's sad. Hey, but the thing is, and I'm always wondering, Jason is like probably the king of that place. You know what I mean?
He's the ambassador.
He's the ambassador of that place. I mean, and it's like, and I'm always wondering, I said, not to say to do it right now, but I think someone needs to do a documentary on his life.
Dude,
I think we have it. I think we have it. We have the footage of it.
We have the raw footage of it.
I'm serious, dude. I mean, his life and his career is just crazy.
If like the thing is, when we shot with Jason, we normally tell most of these interviews, they last about an average of 45 to 50 minutes.
His about 4 hours.
Pretty close. But in a good way.
Because, he's awesome.
Because he is such a great storyteller and I've said this before, where he'll start a story and then it kind of ends up and starts orbiting over here, and then he starts another story and that story orbits over here.
And they'll come together.
And then at the very end, he's got 3 stories that just kind of meld and mold together, and it's just amazing to hear him kind of, fluctuate all of this language into this one long statement that really makes sense in the end. But I mean, we have enough to make his own documentary as of now.
His memory is so good. When I talk to him about stuff, he's he'll fact check me on stuff sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, but his memory is like, it's impeccable, and I really honestly think, not like I'm kissing his ass, but the guy has had such a great career and it still has a great career, that someone really needs to do a doc on just him.
Yeah.
Right. No, maybe after this is over, we can do that.
Him and Pruitt probably got.
Yeah, and Dave too. Dave Pruitt also. I mean, Dave's got the footage for it. So
exactly.
I mean, him. Nathan's part of that also. Nathan was with him for 30 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's those types of individuals were really fortunate that they said yes and said, yeah, we'll be a part of this. And obviously, and I've told Jason, I've emailed Jason, I said, like, dude, we literally couldn't have done this project without you.
Oh, totally, yeah.
I mean, there is no backroom documentary without Jason McMaster. And the thing is, like, he really is the nicest guy. I mean, he was such a nice guy. The other day he sent me some Broken Teeth CDs, and I was just like, man, this guy fucking rocks. And it's just been a pleasure to have him as part of our film. So, and of course, and just as the same as Dave and Nathan, all these guys, Chris Deeger, Deeger, he was a great resource as well. I mean, everybody that's been anybody that's been in that trailer. And the thing is that there's people that we've shot with that didn't make it into the trailer, and that's not just because of exclusivity or anything like that. It's because of editing. You know, it's again telling the story.
We only got like 4 minutes. So
yeah,
I mean, you know.
and even then, that's a pretty hefty trailer. You know,
Plus it's the first trailer,
and it's the first trailer. And like I said, we're still shooting, and so you know. Yes, we would love to include all 40 interviews in the trailer, but that's just not going to happen, you know. But we got more stuff coming. But yeah, I mean, everybody that's been a part of it. I mean, Nathan obviously was one of the most hilarious interviews.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Phil Nitch, Pirate Phil.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was an entertaining interview. I mean, that was what 2 hours of just like.
And he never broke character.
Yeah, he never broke character.
He made his pizza.
Rambunctious storytelling at his
Yeah, he made his pizza.
Yeah, he made his pizza. That was awesome.
Yeah, he made his pizza. I mean, that was a Friday night in Buda, I think, and it was just an amazing. I mean, that guy was fucking nuts in a great way, and you know, it's all those types of characters and personalities and real people that are really what's helping build the story, you know, and because they do it really well, and even like. Dan and Dave, who, when we brought them on to be a part of this, you know, I had found out from one of their daughters that, well, you know, they actually knew about your documentary. You know, they had kind of heard about you guys. And they were like, well, you don't think they're going to call on us? Well, yeah, like, they're probably not going to do that. And then when I reached out to them, I was like, I would like you guys to be a part of this because you're part of the history.
Right.
And they were like, oh my God, we'd love to do this. And so they were really happy. And they were the most endearing, like couple, like country duo couple.
Yeah.
That, you know, they just recounted stories. They actually recorded a live album.
And they brought it with them.
They brought it with them.
Vinyl.
They recorded a live album at the back room. And what they did was they actually had a guy in a van out in the parking lot, and they ran a feed from the soundboard.
Did a mobile recording
all the way into the van.
Phantom Records, I think it was called.
And they actually brought the contract, that record contract, with them, and they brought a huge album, and it was just amazing. And so it's characters like that, and those are the people that we're really trying to showcase in this film, is the ones that are telling the story and telling the history, you know. So it's not just, oh man, I got drunk there one time, and you know, I mean, because believe me, we've all gotten those emails.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, every single one of us. Well, number one, Adam and Jonju and I, we talk every day, all day, like starting at 5, 6 in the morning till pretty much 10, 11 midnight every night.
Sorry, Monica.
Yeah, like our that's my wife, and then so pretty much
that's who I'm talking to.
Yeah, like pretty much our lives are pretty much talking to each other all day long. So. We always get emails, text messages, Facebook messages from either people that are in the movie and like, oh man, I found this picture, I found this, or here's that.
Right.
Or we get random stuff from random people that just say, hey man, I remember one time I had sex on the roof of the back room. You know, like, and they say,
that's a good one.
I want to go on camera to talk about it. You know, like, and okay, well that's fine. We'll see if we can.
So in the
Schneider
cut,
the Schneider cut.
So yeah, I mean, essentially, like we've had a couple ideas that, you know, you know, kind of like, well, what can we do? And because people have said, well, like, well, you're gonna have enough stuff to make a series. You know,
that's true. You're gonna have enough to do more than one.
But I'm like, you know what? We don't have that kind of time and budget. And
that's another thing. If I can ask, how do you guys like find budgeting for this? Find someone to put up the money for it.
Well, the thing is, right now it's kind of just being independently paid for by either myself or us.
Right.
Our goal is to secure more additional funding so that we can continue to shoot and do all the post-production, because not only is the funding that we want to get from here out just to pay the cast and crew,
right?
But obviously it's a music documentary. Obviously there's going to be music rights issues.
Yeah.
There's going to be, and plus the other thing that I haven't mentioned, and you kind of saw that in the trailer, is that another component of what we're doing for this film is reenactments.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
So in the reenactments, we're recreating some of the bigger stories that happen at the back room. So we literally are building a bar. We're building a stage with the pole. We're building
with the pole.
You know, we're building all that stuff,
Right.
but we got to pay for that, and
Right.
we got to pay for the actors. We actually have people that are going to be playing Dangerous Toys. We actually have people. We're actually going to be. Let me put it this way: we're actually going to be recreating the 2 Live Crew riot. You know, so
wow,
to do that, and it's rather ambitious, but we know how to do it. The thing is, we just need the cash to get all this
make it
done.
happen. Yeah.
So the trailer was designed with that in mind to reach out to investors eventually, and they can see the
Proof of
entire
concept,
picture
yeah.
of what we want to put together.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So at this point, you know, we're going to be not only continuing to do what we do, but also present it to potential executive producers and all that good stuff. So yes, we probably at some point will do a crowdfunding event, ask people for cash online, all that kind of stuff, and maybe some other activities that involve crowdfunding as well. So we'll see how it goes. But definitely, I mean, the plan is now that the trailer is out there, we want to get a little bit more cash to get this done.
Yeah.
So, which I'm hoping that's what the trailer will do. So,
well, we'll get it out there for you. So
for sure, and it's evident in the trailer. Also, I wanted to mention that a lot of people see, you know, the kind of like a generalization of the age that we all are.
Yeah.
And they just assume that we're just going to focus on the metal, or we're just going to focus on the glam rock. And it's evident in the trailer that we're going to just tell the story of the back room, regardless of genre.
Yeah.
And it starts with the country, and it goes into the rock, and it goes into the glam, it goes into the grunge, and it goes into the metal, and then it closes out, and it's the entire picture.
I mean, for 2 hours, that's a lot of stuff to put into 2 hours.
it's ambitious. It's definitely ambitious, but I mean,
we can do it.
Yeah.
You need to do a director's cut of that.
Yeah.
Do a Snyder's cut.
The Snyder's
cut.
Yeah.
4.5 hours.
The Snyder cut. And
I'll tell you what. I didn't like that movie. To kind of a sidetrack, I didn't like the movie originally. When I saw the Snyder cut, I kind of liked the movie. I did. I mean, it was like, man,
because it showed the sex on the roof.
Yeah, it showed the sex on the roof. Hey, where do you sign up for that scene? I'm just kidding. Hey, I think we need to give a quick call to our buddy Metal Dave Glessner here.
Right.
Oh,
and
nice.
so we could talk to him for a little bit about this and see what he's got to say.
Oh, wow, we can actually hear him.
Nothing but technology up here. Nothing but technology.
The computers.
It's like the call and knocking on heaven's door.
Pretty much.
Hey, buddy.
Metal Dave, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I'm good. Do I need to turn down my speakers? I'm watching you guys. You getting an echo or anything?
Yeah, you need to turn down just a little bit there.
How about that?
That's perfect.
Perfect. How you doing?
Doing great. Did you see the trailer?
I did. First of all, let me say congratulations to the three gentlemen sitting in the room with you. That trailer is fantastic.
Thank you, Dave.
I mean,
Dave.
man, that is so professional looking. If I was an investor, I'd throw some money at it for sure.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Metal.
Hey, they got the what do you call it, the men's dancing troupe you can get into and make a few extra dollars for them.
That won't be happening anytime soon.
Girls' night out, Metal Dave.
We'll have to bring out the pole.
Bring the pole.
La Bear parking lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for the suggestion.
Hey, so the first thing we see when we pop this trailer out is Metal Dave Glessner there, man. You look good. You sounded great. I mean, if there was one guy, I think maybe you're one of like 5 guys that really needed to be in this movie, you know? Because I mean, you lived the whole thing. You were there all the time, and you're so knowledgeable about, you know, the history of that place that, you know, I'm proud of you that you were the first one on the trailer there.
Yeah, well, I had nothing to do with that. It was the guys here that you're talking to that put me in that spot. And of course, I was honored to be, you know, the first face and voice that you heard on that trailer. But, you know, going back to your point, Bobby, one of the things that I failed to mention in my interview with the guys, and I think I emailed Boudreaux after the fact, was when I moved to Austin in 1995, my only criteria for finding an apartment was that it needed to be in walking distance of the back room. So I got to Austin, I found an apartment in, you know, all these guys are familiar with that part of town, not the kind of place you brag about. It's pretty sketchy, pretty dicey, whatever. But as far as I was concerned, I had arrived. The back room was in walking distance. And so, yes, I ended up spending countless nights there because it was right up my alley. It was the rock and roll scene. It was cheap beer. It was where my friends gathered and live music and all that stuff.
Hey, so did you live in the apartments like on the side of the back room that were up on the hill? Were those your apartments?
No. I lived at the corner of Burton and Old Torf.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
that was mine.
Across from behind the Jack in the Box.
That's where I lived. That's exactly.
Yeah,
I lived right there.
Do you guys know each other?
I guess not. No,
I just sort of
not at the time.
I was on the
there
bottom
in
floor.
95.
Unreal.
Yeah, I moved out after I came home the second time and saw the police tape around my building due to a couple stabbings. And,
Ooh.
Yeah, that's when it was time for Dave to leave.
Move to greener pastures, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, so now that I got you on here, I have my, favorite shows that were at the back room, of course. I mean, so what kind of memories you have of the great shows you saw there? Of course, there's Motorhead. That's probably on your top of your list.
Oh yeah. Definitely. The Ramones, Motorhead. I actually spent. I told the guys, I don't know if I'm giving anything away, but I spent my 35th birthday at the back room at a Motorhead show, and it couldn't have been more perfect. It was a Saturday night. It was my birthday. I was on the guest list for some reason because either it had to do with interviewing Motorhead or it was just out of the kindness of the hearts of the backroom staff or something. So I ended up, in the green room, and after they cleared the venue, I was hanging out with Lemmy, and it was just an all-day thing. And, Bobby, you know how much of a Motorhead fan I am.
Oh, I know.
So
you're a freak, dude. Hey.
Yeah, it was a...
Hey, I'm sorry. I have to interrupt, though. Did you see that Motorhead released a new live album? It was Live from Berlin. Just came out.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. I got the email from their publicist.
Yeah, I heard it today. It's actually a great record.
Heard it first.
Yeah.
Dave hears everything before I do.
There's a reason he's Metal Dave.
No, I heard about it. But I just want to say, if I can, the three guys you've got there on your podcast and everyone, when they approached me about being part of this thing, I was immediately impressed with the professionalism just from the emails, because I could tell that this was a production that was being put on by a bunch of people that were, it was like everyone who approached me was assigned a role and a task, and I could tell this wasn't some college kid project or something. I was being, John would email me about one aspect of it. Adam would email me about another aspect of it. Boudreaux would email me about yet another aspect. And before I even, went to shoot the interview, I already felt like these were a bunch of people, and this was a production company that was A+, top level, professional. And then when I got there to do the shoot, I was just, I was very impressed. The whole thing was just a professional operation. And I think it shows in the trailer that you just premiered. So I wish them nothing but success. I was impressed all the way around, from the first email through the interview and to the trailer and beyond. It's obviously a dedicated cast and crew, and these people aren't even getting paid yet. It's a labor of love, and I saw firsthand the hours that went into it just in my interview. It was like a weekend kind of deal. These people had to drive across town on their time off, away from their families, and yeah. So I mad props to Penny Rock Productions and everybody involved with it, and the results that I'm seeing are super impressive. So I have high hopes, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Dave. That really means a lot, man. We
Thank you,
really
Dave.
appreciate it. And thank you. I just want to say real quick, thank you so much for writing that article about us. It gave us a lot of great exposure. We got a lot of eyeballs on us because of that article, because it was on a legitimate written article about this movie, and it's one of the, I think, really the first real published piece of marketing material that's been done about us. So thank you again for doing that. That was such a great thing for you to do.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, man. It was actually a pleasure because, again, like I said, I could see the heart and soul and the time and the commitment that's being poured into this project on your end. So doing something like that on my end was just sort of my way of contributing to the cause, because I can tell the cause is legitimate. And I was at the back room. I love the back room. And to see it being handled so well, made me want to do whatever I could do to help push it along. So not a problem.
Thanks, Dave.
Hey, so Dave, why don't you pimp a little bit of what you got going on here? I know you're killing it with Jason on Talk Louder podcast. You got anything else going on?
Man, I'll tell you, the Talk Louder podcast, and I want to thank the guys in front of you again. I see them; they're wearing our swag out on the shoots and everything, and we appreciate that. I'll tell you what.
Hey, I got the mug.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I've got a pretty cool surprise that I'm going to post on our Facebook page tomorrow that I'm really proud of, and. There you go. Talk Louder coffee mug. Coffee never tasted so good, right?
It tastes delicious now. I'm not even a coffee drinker. I am now.
There you go. We converted you. So, yeah, the podcast has become like and you know what? That also gives me an appreciation for what Penny Rock Productions is doing here with this back room thing, because Jason and I do this podcast with our producer, Jared Tootin, who you guys know from Pariah and Broken Teeth.
Yes, sir.
And we tape 2 episodes a week, and I feel like we're banging them out pretty good. And just the time commitment that takes gives me a whole new appreciation for what these guys are doing with the Backroom documentary. So, so to answer your question, Bobby, our podcast is called Talk Louder. The website is talklouderpodcast.com, and it's basically just Jason and I being Beavis and Butthead or Wayne's World or whatever. As we like to say, we talk about, we geek out on all things rock and roll. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a great podcast. I listen to all of them, so I'm subscribed on YouTube and everything, so.
Well, thank you. We appreciate the support.
Not a problem.
But let's give back to the guys, man. I mean, this is about them, not me.
Well, we have a couple, 2-3 people we're going to call tonight, and you were at the top of the list, so we wanted to make sure we got you so you could have some some input on the trailer and the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the trailer looks amazing, just totally amazing, and the little preview trailer that came out maybe a month ago or something.
The teaser.
Yeah, the teaser was impressive in itself. So I just thought, man, if this is the first little taste these guys are giving us, this thing is just going to get better and better and better. And the trailer that you premiered tonight is evidence of that. It looks really good, guys. And congratulations to you. And thanks to your families for letting you spend so much time away in order to put this kind of commitment and time into it, because it's obviously a labor of love, and I can tell it's just all consuming. So
they're all in divorce court right now. So and they're right
next week.
They're all suing
on
for
Bobby Sharron.
They're all suing for royalties of the movie. They want some points.
We're all going home with each other. We're not going home.
They want some points on the movie.
Roommates.
They're all moving into that red room.
Right behind the new emos.
Yeah, the red room's getting retired here pretty soon.
I'm moving back to Burton Drive.
Oh,
hey,
man,
Dave.
May the force be with you.
Hey, Dave. One more thing. I got a brand new logo for the podcast, and I will be making coffee mugs, so I will have one for you.
Oh, thank you, man.
So you can drink.
That.
You can drink your coffee out of a lame Cobracast.
No. When my Talk Louder mug is in the dishwasher, I can use my Cobracast one and vice versa.
There you
go. And
awesome.
Them out.
All right, hey, Dave, thanks for hanging out for us for a little bit, and but much love to you. Much love to you,
man.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself.
Thanks,
we'll
Dave.
See you, Dave.
All right, guys, take care.
Have a good one.
See you. You too. Bye.
It's Metal Dave.
Metal Dave Glessner.
You gotta love Metal Dave. I love Metal Dave.
That guy's a great American, man.
He is a great American.
Yeah, his interview was a lot of fun.
I don't know if any of you guys went to the Cobracast show that we had in 2020.
No, but I've seen it.
Dangerous Toys headlined it. Anyways, I had Metal Dave Glessner MC the Dangerous Toys part and bring them up. I said, I got to get a guy, because I usually do all the MC for that stuff, but I know that he loves those guys so much. So I called him and said, dude, I need a favor. I need you to bring up Dangerous Toys. And he was all excited about it. And, he went up there and did a great job. And, he's part of the family. So
that's awesome.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, he's got his interview was really fun. And unfortunately, he was one of those interviews where we had to cut it short because of the location that we were shooting at.
Oh, really?
And I actually had a lot more questions to ask him. But it was a bar that we were shooting at, and we got there early. We started early, but he was just giving us such great content that
we lost track
of time, and the bar was open. And so there's literally people, we're here, we want to drink. And
there were 3 entrances to that place, and all the doors were shaking.
Fucking beat it. We got an interview going on here.
So we had to rush through the last couple questions, just 2 more questions real quick. And then, hey, Dave, so.
The cool thing about Dave is so well spoken. He's the total opposite of me. You know what I mean? Because I can't get, I had a stuttering problem when I was a kid, and it kind of shows up every now and then. But Dave is so well spoken. He's just that news anchor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gets it out.
He's got the cadence.
He got the cadence, and he's just a great dude. He really is. I love him to death.
Yeah, man. Good guy.
Good guy.
Love me some Metal Dave.
You gotta have Metal Dave had to be in this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got to ask about it. So what do we got planned for the premiere?
Okay.
How sick is that going to be?
There's a couple different options on the table. I don't know if we want to get into all of them right now, but
let's get into one.
Depending on how all this plays out in the world right now.
Yeah.
That's true
because,
too.
The werewolf short that we have on Amazon Prime, when we premiered that in 2019, we were able to do the entire Alamo Drafthouse Lakeline thing, and then we had all kinds of stuff going on for that. And so we made a 12-minute film into a 3-hour party
program.
Program. I call it the party, but it was just a bunch of games, and we had other people's shorts playing before it.
We basically made it a mini film festival in one night.
So depending on how many places open back up and what things look like in 2023, then we want to shoot for something similar to that. And
I mean, we're definitely going to do. I will say this: we are definitely going to be doing theatrical screenings. So that's going to happen regardless.
And it will be in film festivals.
And it will be in film festivals and stuff. And so really, I mean, we're going to be doing a year of post-production. Where that year of post-production, where the world is in a year is what's going to kind of determine which avenue we take.
Sure.
So, we definitely have a couple of different things lined up, but definitely the Alamo theatrical thing is definitely on the table.
Oh, yeah, big time.
We're hoping, maybe South by Southwest. I don't know. We'll see. But
you could seriously probably do the trailer at South by.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea, actually.
No, but
no, seriously,
you guys didn't think about it or no?
No, we did. We've tried South by Southwest.
Yeah,
in a lot of.
It's South by is its own animal kind of thing.
Well, that it got bought up by Rolling Stone, right?
Right. And then
or half of it or something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
Good percentage.
And
that's
so
crazy.
It's again, we'll see where it is in a year, and we'll kind of look at it from there.
For sure.
Crazy.
But they're a main target.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could, there's a lot of hip movie places in town that would probably play the trailer, no problem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we have
some screening.
We
parties.
actually had the teaser actually ran at another screening not too long ago, and that was the first theatrical exposure that we had gotten, and that got a great response. And in fact, we took a picture of it in the theater, like, hey everybody, our first theatrical exposure. And
that was also at Alamo.
That was also at Alamo Lakeline, and everybody was like, oh man, it's happening. What so that alone was really kind of exciting. So yeah, I mean we're still in production. We're still kind of getting there.
You still have this great trailer, though. I mean, I could see it, trying to talk to somebody at ACL in between bands showing it on the big screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
And I think with the content and the subject that we're covering, we have a really good chance, but that's up to them.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Well, like I said, people are going to see this trailer, off of this podcast, and I guess you're going to post it on YouTube, I think, with tonight or tomorrow or something like that. And it's going to be seen, I think a lot of investors are going to be into it. I think a lot of people are going to get behind it big time. I mean, it's a total, like Dave was saying, a total quality product. It's not some some hit job or something that you know what I mean. And a bunch of kids that on their iPhones or some shit, So
And I think that's what a lot of people thought in the beginning.
Yeah, I think right because I think it was one of those
at least
things.
18 hours a day that we put into it just by talking alone.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where I think, and somebody did say that at one of the shoots, like, wow, I wasn't expecting like a crew. I was expecting like two guys and a camera and not even a microphone. Wow, you guys have microphones?
It's weird, even like with this thing, because people come up here and they're like, I mean, there's podcasts that people do in their backyard, on a table underneath whatever.
And that's one of the suggestions we had from a band. It's like, they're like, oh, we can just shoot it in my backyard, we want, in order for it to match up and look good, it has to be all consistent.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my thing. I put this thing together. If I'm going to do if I'm going to do a podcast, I want to do it the right way. I'm going to have a studio. It's going to be cool. I mean, I have decent equipment, and make sure it's perfect for me.
And that's the thing about in what I do as a producer and as a filmmaker and these guys know, and especially because my reputation in town, I've been in this town for 20 plus years and I've been in media for 20 plus years. And in that time, I've built a reputation for not half-assing. I do not half-ass anything, especially when it comes to work like this. And these guys, I've known Adam for 15 years. I've known John G a long time as well. And so these guys know that when I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to have this edit done by Wednesday. Maybe next Wednesday. And then it's 2 days later, hey guys, I'm done. Because I've got that, I want to make it good and I want to show the people like, look, this is the quality kind of stuff that we do.
Yeah.
It just would be nice to get, a little bit, not just recognition and eyeballs on it, but also, hey, if we can just get a little bit of cash from so-and-so, we can really make this kick ass. And so that's ultimately the goal. But in any of the projects that we've done in music videos or even commercials or whatever, I mean, whatever we do for clients or potential films or whatever, it's all quality shit, and that's the bottom line is that, my company motto, my production company motto is national look on a local budget. You know what I mean? And so it's, if it looks national and if it looks quality, well then, that's going to get a lot farther than, than just the fucking cell phone video. I mean, and I'm not dogging cell phone videos.
Cell phone videos are pretty good these days.
Exactly. What I'm saying is
if you know how to use them.
If you know how to use
We have a friend that made an entire film on an iPhone. And it was up there with getting awards with our other movie. Yeah. And we met him at a film fest and we've been friends since. And it was all done on a phone. If you know how to use it, if you know how to edit,
absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not dogging it at all, but but we want to bring quality to this product is bottom line, and that we're not half-assing it. We're not, there's been multiple times where after the interview, whoever we're talking to, they'll say, "Man, that was a good set of questions there. I wasn't expecting that," or right? And then or it'll just turn around and like, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. That's a great question. That happens all the time because we're not half-assing it. And because
put the time into it.
Totally prepared before we walk.
Because we have our template of questions, but then we dial in on certain people because we know a little bit about them or about something that they've done.
Right.
And then they're like, "Whoa, I didn't know you were going to ask me that," or "I didn't know you knew that." And I never mentioned that to you in the emails. But we do our homework before we get there.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And that's the main thing that when we first started this project with Tammy, even with, Ray Segern. Right?
Yeah.
So Ray,
I think Ray, actually, I think I'm going to try to get Ray up here, actually.
Yeah, and the thing is, when we had Ray in on this, he wanted to like, well, what exactly are you guys going to do? And da-da-da-da. And so he was like, well, and he was another like 2-hour interview, but it turned into a quality interview. And he was also kind of really like, wow, you guys actually are doing your homework. You actually know what's going on.
Yeah.
You actually know the history. Well, thanks, Tammy. Thanks for helping us with that, because that's why we want to do this, and obviously because we were all there, and that's the other thing is we're from here. We've been here for a long time. We went there. We had parties there and experiences there and memories there. So we're not just, hey, tell me about this place that you went to that I never stepped foot in. It's like, no, we were there. We were part of it. We were a part of that thing. And I think that's a big, huge thing with a lot of these interviews, that they say, oh, these guys get it. You know, they were there. Whether whatever era it was, we were there in some capacity.
And we know it means a lot to a lot of people, not just
Well,
us.
it means a lot to me,
So,
you know?
for us to do it right is the only way to do it, or
Don't do it at
we
all.
wouldn't be doing it at all.
Yeah.
So we had an idea in the beginning 2.5 years ago that we sat down and we wrote notes on without telling anyone else. I think only our wives knew that we were going to do this eventually. It was the eventual project. We went on to other projects, put this aside, and went back to it. Then when everything shut down, I remember the first text was from Boudreaux, and it's like, we're not doing anything right now. Everybody's home. I think it's about time we go revisit the Backroom project. And I think from that moment on, we never stopped.
Yeah.
And then, we brought Adam on board.
Yeah,
and
I got that message like 12 days before Christmas. So it was like 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a treat for me. For
Adam,
sure.
Adam actually, he was a production intern with me years ago.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Adam, we've all I quit drinking a while back, but we've all frequented the same bars and stuff like that. We have a lot of the same circles of bar families. And, but I knew that Adam was he's a huge music nut. I mean, this guy's record collection and album collection is astronomically crazy,
right?
But I also know that he had a lot of bar connections and a lot of location connections. So when I brought him in and I introduced him to John, and I was just like, you know what? I think Adam's also a good resource, not only because he knows how I work and my style and but also because he has a lot of great networking, capabilities. And so he's the number one guy when it comes to locations. He's the number one guy when it comes to research, man. I mean, Adam is really put forth, a lot of great effort, and, we couldn't be doing this without him. And of course, I couldn't be doing this without Jonju, who has a music promotion background. And so he has a lot of the networking with bands and musicians and stuff like that. He has a huge Rolodex that doesn't even exist anymore, but he's got a huge Rolodex of people in contacts and stuff. And we always joke that, everybody's 2 degrees away from Jonju because everybody knows him or knows some version of him, and definitely our wives know who he is.
That's how we got hooked up through his cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
The podcast with his cousin.
Exactly. So, and it's because of these two guys. I would not be able to be doing this project without these two guys.
Right.
So they're like, my brothers right now, and I love them, and I think they're doing an amazing job. Everybody on the crew is doing an amazing job. Tammy is just an amazing resource of information. And it's just been
Tammy's watching right now. She's on.
Oh, great. Awesome, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
And so, yeah, she's great. And it's just been a really great experience so far. So, we're, not to kind of get all flowery and everything like that, but, but I think
I like the smell.
Hey, when y'all
we already smell like Dillards.
Yeah. Hey, but here's the thing: when y'all get divorced because of this, that's all you got right here. So you might as well fucking make it tight.
So when he reached out to me, I remember this clearly. He reached out to me and mentioned, hey, where and what aspect can we use Adam? Because I think he'd be a good resource. And at that moment in time, I had about 4 months of work to do in like 2 weeks. Wow. And I said, well, here we go. And we met up on a Zoom, and then we split up half of the work. And it wasn't like we said, hey, Adam, you're going to be in charge of locations. Mm-hmm. Adam's like, hey, I have these resources. And I said, okay, well, then I'll handle what I know. You handle what you know. And then Adam went to Alaska for a week.
Wow.
And we felt it.
Yeah.
We felt that entire week of Alaska because we had a shoot that we didn't find a location for till the day before, the night before, like within 8 hours or 12 hours of the shoot, because we couldn't nail it down. We couldn't find it, and things were opening back up, and Adam was gone.
Yeah.
So,
right now we're kind of a very perfect holy trinity kind of thing, and we all support each other. And then but I'm also kind of like the quarterback. I say this all the time. I'm kind of like the quarterback of the crew, and so I lead everybody, and I because at every shoot I talk to the DP and I say, okay, I want this in the background, I want this, but I also these guys ask me, well, where do you want these lights and everything. So, and the thing is, we try to find out what crews can make what shoots, based on availability, but they all work with each other. And I've said this for other interviews, and I've said this in other projects, that yes, the final product is important, but it's the connections that these guys and the crew make with each other as the filmmaking process happens to really give a quality, passionate product. You know what I mean? So they talk with each other online, and they talk and they work. I've had other crew members that they work with each other on other projects, and that's important to me, that they all now have created this huge networking kind of web of people
Right.
that now they continue to create, and that's a big thing for me. You know that, I help facilitate and help lead that.
Awesome.
So that's kind of my thing, and maybe that's just like the production manager in me kind of thing. Just like, hey, I want you to do well. I want you to, but it's also like, hey, I want you guys to know that I really appreciate what you guys are doing, because we're all doing this together.
Right.
There's absolutely I could not do this by myself. Not at all.
I think it's contest time.
I think shit. So.
It's
Okay.
we got
I think surprise time.
It's surprise time. So, anyways, what do we have here?
Let's see. I bring it right here in the middle. So we brought a body from the back room.
The body from the back room. So you might be able to win this if you know the right answer.
We got some Nathan Weed here.
Oh no!
We got a piece of Eddie Vedder's hair in there.
All right, so
one's
for you and one's for a lucky
I was
winner.
asking about that the other day.
So this is hot off the presses.
Oh man, look at this!
This is the first official printing of the.
Here, hold it on one side so we can.
Oh, that's
show the whole
nice.
thing.
It's the first official printing of the.
That's
so
fucking
this is the
badass.
very first generation poster of.
There you go.
You see it there?
Yeah, there you go. That's
the first
fantastic.
theatrical poster for Bloody and Bruised.
And we're gonna leave one here signed for you, Bobby,
Awesome,
and one
man.
signed for
I'm gonna get that frame
for
put
a
that
lucky
in-
winner.
and put that in the new studio. So that's awesome. I was asking you about that the other day. He's like, I'll get back to you.
So there's two. It was
I'll get back
part
to
of
you.
the surprise.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the question. Now, how we're going to do is I'm going to ask the question. The first person, now there's a delay on here, so it might take a couple seconds. Whoever gets the question right first and whoever pops up first wins that great movie poster. Anyways, who was the artist who did the artwork on the first Dangerous Toys record?
And
That is the question.
We want to note that you cannot be affiliated with the film to win the prize.
Yeah. And Metal Dave, you already know, so.
Dave Pruitt, not allowed.
Dave Pruitt's not allowed. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who pops up. I already know the answer. I hope I know the answer.
That'd be great.
Tony Park, can I play or am I disqualified?
I think disqualified.
You're disqualified, Tony.
Yeah, you're part of the crew.
You're part of the crew. You're in the movie, Tony. We're
But
gonna.
good news is that we'll have more later down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have more later, but this is a very special one. You're gonna sign it and everything, and
Yeah.
I don't see anybody. Might have to. Oh, was it? Everybody's like, "Fuck, damn." Everybody's like, I don't know what they want. Tony knows what it is. First person gets it. Oh, Tony's like, "Oh man, should we just go to Tony?" I'm like, "All right, Tony, what's the answer?" No, not Wes Craven's Shocker. Okay, come on. There's like a little bit of delay, so they'll be popping in. We should just.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
I think. What is I? Tony Park, please, Tony. Here, let's call Tony right now.
All right, yeah. Let's just talk.
I'm going to call Tony. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Come on, Tony.
Oh, here we go.
You're the fifth caller.
You're the fifth caller. We're caller 5.
He's like, you disqualified me, and now I'm going to disqualify
Tony, pick up the phone.
Yeah. Block.
Hi, this is Tony. Please.
Tony's online.
Uh-oh, who we got?
Tony's
Does he have
online. Tony's online and he's messing around. Anyways, this guy says Scott Dalhoover. Billy Perkins? Nope, not Billy
I'm
Perkins.
glad it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
It could have been Billy Perkins, though.
Actually, we're going to show a little bit of Billy Perkins' artwork here in a little bit.
Billy Perkins.
Not Billy Perkins. I can't believe no one knows this. Tony, if you're listening, just guess, will you? You'll get the poster. The David Glessner, I know it. Metal Dave knows it.
Of course he knows it.
Call me again. Okay, we're going to call Tony again. Call me again. Making me look bad over here.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Mr. Tony. Mr. Tony Park in the house.
Hey.
This guy.
David Glessner, David Glessner's got the right answer. So.
Oh, does he have? Okay, all right. I didn't want to say anything. I mean, I may not have it, but I wanted a shot at it.
What was it? What did you think?
I don't want to say it.
It doesn't matter. I think Metal Dave won. So.
Well, so he says Tommy Pons, right? That was not my guess.
Okay, well you didn't win then.
So, yeah, I did not. That's okay. That's okay though. I feel like a winner because I'm actually in such amazing company, so I feel like a winner.
Nice. You are a winner, Tony. How you doing, man? It's been a hot minute since I talked to you.
Hey, John, Adam, Boudreaux, what's going on?
What's going on, Tony?
I just want to say I really appreciate you guys and what you're doing, the labor of love. You know, at this age, for a lot of us artists and rock and rollers, you know, what we do this because we love it, right? And I get the feeling that what you're doing is a labor of love, and that's a cool thing. I appreciate what you're doing. I think you're telling the story of the back room. You're telling the story of rock music in Austin, Texas, and you know that's an amazing thing. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I really do.
Awesome, thank you, man.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for being a part of it as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, so Tony, did Push Monkey play a lot at the Room? I thought you were more like a downtown, you know.
So we were kind of like a Black Cat Steamboat sort of funk rock band, but we, because you know Austin music didn't really have, it sort of had its metal scene, and so a lot of the downtown bands didn't play at the back room, but we weren't really accepted downtown, honestly, because we were heavier than everybody else. So we would play the back room too, right? And so we played there a lot as Mad Hatter and as Hatter, and then later as Push Monkey we played there. So yeah, we did a lot of time at the back room, but we weren't like the glam. Like where we started to play the back room was when kind of grunge became the thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember, I think I saw Push Monkey there like once because like right at that time I kind of like, not say retired from playing, but I wasn't up there as much after maybe 2000, 2001-ish, you know?
Yeah, so like from like 2002 to 2006 we played there pretty regularly, and we had big shows. We played there with like, you know, Dirty Worms, Vallejo, you know, bands that, you know, were kind of in sort of the I don't know if I want to say the waning years of the back room, but you know, the back room was its real heyday, and we talked about this in our interview, was kind of a little earlier when it was sort of, you know, the glam rock band and the glam bands, and then the transition to grunge bands was when the back room was really kicking, right? It was, you know, Pariah, Dangerous Toys, those were the bands that were really kicking at the back room. And then, you know, the club sort of had to sort of survive the grunge change, which all of us had to survive, right?
Yeah.
Because that was a different thing, right? When the grunge stuff took over, you know, the back room started having, you know, bands like Pearl Jam would play, you know, Marilyn Manson would play. So they just went a different route as time went by.
Yeah, it was kind of cool where you did your interview. Piranha Records is like one of my favorite record stores in Austin. I'm down there a lot. It's like, you know that, you know, it's the cool thing about that place. You know, it's a real record store. It's a mom and pop store. And you walk in, and you smell incense. That's how you know that joint is for real. It's legit.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I find so much cool stuff there. And the guy that owns the place, he's very
John.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to you know, finding spaces, you just call places up to ask them to.
No,
locations?
I mean, a majority of it's because we've already have connections with the place, or Adam does, or John does. I mean, it's because we've already kind of established something. I mean, there have been a couple of one-offs where hey, can we shoot here? And you know, right. But I mean, John was all about it from Piranha when he said, "Oh man, you guys are shooting. I've heard about this documentary. Yes, you can shoot here." And so they were all about it. And so yeah, it was a great time. And Tony, you know, great interview. It was actually, I had a lot more of you in the trailer but unfortunately I had to cut some because of time. But it was great stuff.
Story of my life.
So the cool thing about Piranha is that was one of the very few, or one of the, I think the only location that we actually shot an interview while the place was open.
Yeah.
So everywhere else they've shut down for us. This place was open, and they were so cool about controlling everything for us while it was open, and playing the music that we wanted over the loudspeaker in case it came through.
Right.
And we played something that we had the rights to, or that we could have the rights to, and they controlled the people. They controlled their telephone. Everything was in full 100% open, and then they helped me and just control everything around us. And that was we thought it was going to be hard, and it was actually easier than
so it ended up being a great interview with Tony because of it.
Yeah, I think that they played a lot of dancer records, if I recall.
It was on a loop, actually.
But Nathan loved that.
Exactly.
It was Texas Metal Boys just on a loop constantly.
We did a CD release party for that up here, and we played. I think we played the whole album. Yeah. It was like the craziest. What do you call it? Album release party, because we only. It's like he's like, well, what songs you want to play? I'm like, let's just play them all. He's like, we played the whole record. So who cares, right? So Tony, we talked to Metal Dave a little bit, and what do you got coming up? I'm gonna try to pimp some of your stuff while you're on.
Well, so here's what I was listening to you guys earlier, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be a good idea, Bobby, at the Cobracast show, maybe in between some of the bands, to play some footage from the Bloody and Bruised? Like, wouldn't that be kind of a cool idea? I'm just throwing it out. I'm kind of spitballing here. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out. Like, wouldn't it be neat when we do that show in January to help promote some of this stuff by showing actual footage? And maybe you guys can talk amongst yourselves and coordinate maybe some footage, or maybe multiple trailers that you can play.
I'm not opposed to that idea, because I actually, one of our marketing strategies is to drop micro interviews on our Facebook page and on our website. So getting one of those select clips, I'm totally all about it. So yeah.
We could definitely hook that up.
Again, the show's going to be a big show, right? It's going to have a lot of the same artists that are involved in all of these interviews. They'll probably be on the show, and it's a come and take it. So there's going to be the big, the screen, and we can actually, you guys could probably play and project your, some of these little spots and little trailers or whatever. So I know I was just thinking about that when we were talking earlier about how to help promote what you guys are doing, because again, I really appreciate how much this is an honest history of the back room, right? Like, a lot of times in pop culture, what people focus on is, how can I make a buck, and how can I, take advantage of a certain situation that's going on right now, right? That's kind of the goal of pop culture, is to capitalize on what's going on now. But what I get from you guys is, there's a respect for the history of the back room and rock and music in Austin.
Right.
And I think that's just beautiful. It's why when you called me, John, when you reached out to me or when you messaged me, I was like, man, I want to be a part of this, because I think this is a labor of love, and you guys are coming from a truly honest place. Now, maybe down the road it gets really big and you ultimately profit off of it and it does great, or not. But either way, the goal here is to make something that's a quality product, to make something that's a true history of what happened at that time, which was an amazing moment and snapshot in time in Austin music. And I think that's beautiful. So anything that I can do or help do, or, I'm sure Bobby is on board, that we can do to help you promote this sort of true, honest labor of love, man, we're all in.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great thing for the January show. Play the whole.
Year. That would be good.
Yeah,
and the irony of that place is that it's the same address.
Oh, is it?
I know, right?
2015 East Riverside.
I got a crazy story about that place. I'll tell. I don't know if Tony's ever heard this story, but when I first got here, like I said, going back, the very first weekend I was here, I'm going through the Chronicle. And I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any building, any club. I just going through, and I see the old club that used to be there years ago. It was like a Tejano bar or something at the time.
Chaos.
Was it?
Chaos.
Club Chaos. Club Chaos, right? And they had a wet T-shirt contest.
Oh, yes.
And I said, that's for me. So I found out, and I went, right? And at the time, I had hair down to, hair, leather jacket. And I walk in, it was not my kind of bar.
Yeah.
And I walked in, I'm like, I'm at the wrong house. And I just turned around and walked right the fuck out. I was like, I'm going to get stabbed up in here. Something's going on. It was not my kind of bar.
It was always an adventure. If anybody from the back room ever wandered over to Chaos,
or vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa, there was some shenanigans happening.
It's like crossing the streams.
Yeah, it's crossing the streams.
Yeah, so I walked in that joint and I looked around and I think I got maybe 5 feet into place. I was just turned around. I had some people's bird dogging me, I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm at the wrong place. So I think I ended up on 6th Street after that, on that night. So, hey, so Tony, what do you have coming up with 333? Anything exciting?
Oh yeah, so we have an acoustic record that we're releasing. We're also actually starting to get. We have a new lineup, and we're now working on the electric set. And so we've got a show in the fall at Come and Take It as well. So, we're basically gearing up and trying to get ready to bring the rock side of 333 back. We've done a couple acoustic shows, but the truth of 333 is that we're a rock band, and all these guys in this band we want to rock out. We want it to be loud. We want it to be fun. We want to have a good time on stage and really kind of rock out with the fans. So we're super happy that this COVID thing is sort of waning and that we're going to start opening things back up again. And I think in the fall we're going to have a great show, and that's our focus, is to get an electric set back on track and get the new lineup out there and maybe kick ass more than we've ever kicked ass before.
Do you have a date for the next show?
Oh, you'd ask me that. I do, but it's on my phone, which I'm on right now.
Hey, speaking of your phone, Tony, I just got a message saying for you to turn down your phone.
Well, he's listening to
turn on your
us.
speakers.
Yeah, he's listening at the same time.
Oh. I have to turn on my phone?
There's speakers.
I don't have any speakers.
The computer,
on.
right?
Oh, weird.
Or what is he?
Oh, somebody said turn down your speakers.
I don't know.
Am I just being loud?
No. We hear
I've never done
our
that
feed,
before.
I think. Or
I don't know. We'll have to go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Technology, it's great when it works and it sucks when it doesn't. Hey, I got to tell you though, Metal Dave gave up the poster. So we do have a winner.
Oh.
And the winner is, hold on, I got to find the winner. Jamie Copeland.
Congratulations, Jamie.
So we'll text Jamie Copeland here in a little bit, and we will find out his address and send him this gorgeous poster, man. It's a great looking poster.
Thank you.
It's all glossy and everything. We just
Yeah.
fucking spared no expense on that poster.
It's a great poster.
Quality's king.
Quality's king.
Well, good luck on that show, Tony.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I can't thank Penny Rock enough for what you guys are doing. I think this whole thing is, when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, it'll be cool to go in and, do an interview and hang out. And then when I got there, you guys were totally professional. You had things set up. You mic'd me up well. You had great questions. The interview was really classy. I really appreciated that. A lot of the questions you guys asked were, they had it. You understood the history of it, and that's cool. Like a lot of times, I can't tell you how many interviews I've done across the country where people go, "Oh, what are your influences?" Like, dude, really? Come on, man. But you asked really good questions, and you encouraged me to kind of talk about my take on the history of the background. Because again, mine was a little different. I wasn't Jason McMaster, right? I wasn't the king of the hill. We were kind of the young, up and coming little brothers, right? And Push Monkey ultimately did really well, and we were able to get signed and do national stuff. But Dangerous Toys, Pariah, all those bands, they Dancer even, like we were like, oh, looking up to those guys as big brothers. And so we kind of came on a little bit later, but we ultimately did some good things in the industry too. And so it was a really neat thing to be able to talk about, getting out there and, having to do those ticket nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Chris Deidre talked about that too, and having to put, put tickets on people's, under people's windshield wipers.
I forgot all about that.
The band right behind us.
Color tickets. Yeah.
Stealing our little tickets from ours, and maybe throwing ours in the trash, and we have to go behind them again and put ours back in there. So they have these ticket nights, and we're barely able to.
Uh-oh.
Are you there? Did we lose Tony?
Ooh.
I don't think we lost him. Yep, we lost him.
Oh man!
All right, Tony.
Oh man,
his phone went out.
He was pissed about the poster, I guess.
That's too funny.
Thanks for calling in, Tony.
Yeah, so
Thanks,
anyways,
Tony.
that show is January 29th of 2022, and man, we could definitely work out something like that. That'd be awesome.
Totally. I think any kind of extra promotion that we can get to get more eyeballs on this,
We could just
would be great.
roll that screen down and come and take it live and just project that thing big time.
Yeah, totally.
And something that occurred to me when they mentioned that is a lot of those people are going to be on stage.
Oh, there's Tony Park. Hello? Tony. Hold on one second. I don't think you're hooked up here. What happened to the Bluetooth? Hello? Hold on a second there, Tony. Hey, Tony, let me call you back, okay? All right.
So I was saying it occurred to me that some of the people that are going to be on stage, or most of the people, were on the film.
Yeah,
So we'll get
absolutely.
to.
Yeah, so we started working on that lineup in June. It takes like 6 months to put that thing together. It's pretty massive. So we got to kind of we know pretty much who we want to headline and co-headline and all that stuff. We got all that going pretty well, but it's just like I said, we have to kind of sit down and hash all that out and find out who's available. It gets pretty technical. But yeah, you'll see a bunch of bands on there that and have been around for a long time. So it's gonna be very cool.
Totally.
Very
Badass.
cool.
Let me try calling Tony one more time.
Hey, Tony.
What the fuck? Some reason the Bluetooth's not working. All right, I'll have to work on this really fast. Yeah, but thanks for that poster, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty sweet. We're really proud of it. That's one of those things where normally you don't have that till the very end or till normally you have like a teaser poster. But this is the kind of thing where, again, we wanted to get people excited about it. We wanted to get people like, oh, this is like a bona fide movie,
Right.
It's a subconscious thing with marketing where it's like, hey, if you have a poster, you have a trailer, you have web banners, you have a Facebook page,
An IMDb page.
then you actually can create a following based on that alone. So, it's a really it's kind of just adds to our credibility of, hey, we're legit, So that's what we're hoping to do.
Let's try Tony one more time. There we go. Now we're working. Now we're cooking with gas.
Hey, man.
Say sorry about that.
Hey, no problem, man.
Dude,
Technology, gotta love it.
it's like you had a problem, I had a problem, so now we got it all fixed, and we're talking to you again.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
So we were talking about the anyways, so January 29th, 2022, we're back over at Come and Take It Live for the Cobracast Birthday Bash Slamboree, and I think we're going to include everybody on this one when it comes to like promoting either bands or movies or whatever. We're gonna bring everybody in on this one.
Yeah, and again, I think this whole Bloody and Bruised thing, it's such a cool, man, I can't say, again, when you first reached out to me, I was like, okay, a lot of people do, documentaries and stuff, and this was a real serious project. Like, this is, oh my God, am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on.
Yeah.
We're just listening.
Sorry. I thought I lost the call again. I was about to get frustrated. No, but you guys are doing a great job. The trailer is amazing. All the folks that you have involved as far as your interviews go, all these guys are class acts, and they've been involved in this in the scene for 30 years. These guys are the people that you need to be talking to, and you're talking to them. So thank you. It's great.
Thank you, Tony.
Awesome. I think we're going to let you go. We got one more call to make, and then we're going to wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, glad to be a part of it, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate it.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Absolutely.
Take care. Okay, we got him out of the way. Not out of the way, but you know what I mean? It's like, man, that's kind of a weird. His phone kind of went down or whatever. Let's make the last call. I saved this guy for last because this is going to be
because he's last in the trailer.
He's last in the trailer. Yeah, that's true.
Is he going to do the call from Dillard's?
I don't know. We're going to find out.
That was the place to be.
So the one, the only, the original Nasty Nathan Oliveras. Let's give him a ring and see what is going on here.
We're going to make posters with Nathan that says Cochino.
That's going to be the next shirt. That's going to be our Bloody and Bruised shirt.
Let's hope he answers.
That'd be nice.
Oh
shit.
Hello, guys.
What are you doing?
Oh, watching the show.
Are you having fun?
I'm hanging out with my brother, my daughter, and my sister-in-law.
Great.
Watching the show with my earbud on in the loudest bar in Corpus Christi.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, so did you like the trailer?
I saw the trailer a couple of nights ago.
Oh, man. Fuck all that.
Afternoon. And I just want to say, I love me. I can't blow you as good as Metal Dave does. And I'm not as cool as Tony ever could be or ever will be. But, man, I'll just say what everybody else says. I know y'all have been up there for a while, and y'all are starting to look at your watches. But I couldn't be more proud to be a part of this. And Mexican.
Mexican.
Like, Bobby, I've never seen you look so white in my life.
I thought I looked tan under these lights. I guess not, huh?
Man, they're just brown as brown can be. Talking about the back room, man. We're fucking, they know what heavy metal's supposed to taste like. Man, like, I couldn't be more proud. I love you guys with all my heart. And, you know, for the life of me, I couldn't remember why y'all kept texting me about Dillard's. And then I heard the story about Dillard's and y'all smelling like Dillard's. I said, oh, yeah, y'all smell like Dillard's. So I'm going to go lighter on my weed next time. And,
do you remember do you remember anything from the interview?
Yes, I remember having a great time and laughing my ass off.
Badass.
Yes.
And that's what I remember, the memories flooding in and not wanting to forget a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. And I got so excited, I forgot everything that I wanted to talk about.
Did you remember the Cochino part when you saw it, or was that a surprise?
When I saw it, man, that's funny. You know, it's like the backroom's Cochino, man.
And I was telling Bobby how when we shot that part, and that was the very last line of the interview. That was the very last response. And if you remember this, that I said when you said that, the backroom's Cochino, and I was like, man, I'm totally using that in the trailer.
I was wondering where it was.
And it's the very last line. In fact, when we edited this, that was the very first piece of video that was put into the timeline. That was the very first piece of video that was used for the trailer. So
I was laughing my ass off when I saw it. I'm like, God, he stole that whole damn trailer.
You know, man, I just wish y'all had like a skinny filter. Because between all the cool guys who are all skinny now, and then Tony gets up there and he's a little round, and then I'm on there and I'm the last thing and I'm real round. It's like, fuck, these guys need to put one of them skinny filters on me. I'll fund half the movie, guys. You make me look skinny.
Oh, hey, while we got you on the phone here really quick, man, just if you can remember one, just give us one good backroom story, because you probably got 1,000 of them, man.
Dig it. We were there. Yngwie Malmsteen was cutting the Odyssey album. He was at Studio D. And he was up there at the back room. And my boy Roger and my bass player were passing each other Bud Lights. So Yngwie was in the middle, and he intercepted the Bud Light and said, thank you. And right then, Dave Cooper, the original dancer bass player, grabbed that beer away from Yngwie Malmsteen and said,
there you go. That's good.
Fuck you, Yngwie. You're not no rock star around here.
I play in fucking Dancer. And it was like, man, Dave, that's anything nasty. I don't give a fuck. I'm a Dancer. This is our town.
That's fucking fun. I think you told me that story.
Like, and then you're talking about Dangerous Toys and Pariah. I was telling these guys, I was never the king of Saturday nights or New Year's Eve. I was the guy that played Christmas Day or New Year's Day, you know?
Still a
and
treat.
it was like, people were still drinking. And if they weren't drinking, our tab was big enough for them to ask us back.
That's funny.
But guys, like I said, I just want to make this short. I know that y'all have been up there for a while. I couldn't be more proud to do this. Bobby, this is a great notch on your lipstick case.
Oh, geez, thank you.
You know, just this movie premiere and how many people really believe in it. Now, if everybody would just vote with their pockets and vote with their wallets, then we really, really could have something big and actually nation fucking wide, instead of it just being local and us all loving it, because the locals really love it. But really, like, share a piece of Austin
Let me see that.
with the fucking world. That's what it's about, man.
Cat loves trash.
And we can afford the skinny filter.
And the skinny filter.
Oh, man,
Hey.
I love you guys, man.
Hey, one last thing, man. What do you have going on right now?
Dancer's about to start playing again. Our guitar player didn't want to play during the pandemic. Stupid Drama has been. We came out with an album during 2020 called Fat Cat Songs for Management. And we premiered that with you, Bobby, I think you said earlier.
Yeah, we played the whole thing up here.
We filmed one-to-one show. We just did 512 Studios live, and now we're going to have Penny Rock come up and actually film our next show at Come and Take It Live on, I believe it's the 8th of next month.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of content, a lot of fun, and working on a new album, working on some dancer dates, and really just ready to be on top, because one thing that Stupid Drama did is we played when we could and we didn't slow down. A lot of people just stopped.
Yeah.
We played out. We hid from everybody backstage. We wore our masks. We stayed socially distant. And we came out with an album, did some album release shows, and really just ready to stay on top and ride this wave, because we've got everybody's number for people that didn't call these clubs back. And so our name is at the top of the list. So we're going to ride that sucker. We're planning to tour with Hoey, Greg Howe, that great guitar player. And so that's coming up. And so we're really just kicking ass and still continuing to be the best that we can be and just ride this wave of badassery.
Awesome, man.
Ride the
Very
wave.
Cool.
Of
Yeah.
badassery.
You know, man, it's no different than what you guys got going on, man. It's like, Dude, if you stay working and you stay focused and you don't let anything fucking stop you, that's whenever you're on the same level as Penny Rock and these guys right here.
Oh,
and
thank you, man.
What I strive to be, that's what you strive to be. And I know that you had to stop a couple of times too, Bobby, but you didn't stop because you started doing Zoom. So,
Fuck that Zoom. Fucking tired of Zoom. I can't do it no more.
There's a way.
There's a way to do it and get it
to
done.
do it right, and there's a way not to do it. And the problem is idiots are saying that there's not a way to do it. So they're not even looking for a positive way to stay safe and clean and sober. Wash your hands, wear your fucking mask, get your shots, and let's open this place back up so whenever it comes time for music again or movie premieres or podcasts, we all can do this the right way and continue to keep kicking ass. And I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you that are up there.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. So I know that y'all have been up there for a while.
Yeah, we're going to end this in a second.
Once again, I'm pulling up the rear.
Oh,
So
shit.
all I can say about that is,
Are you the
y'all are
caboose
like
or what?
My dirty girlfriend my old man wants to be with, and my wife and my mom keeps calling them the white puta.
Yeah. That's the
I
next
love you guys
T-shirt.
with all of my heart. Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Nathan.
Take care. Hey, I'll give you a call tomorrow, okay?
Sounds great.
Take care of yourself.
All right, man. Proud of you guys.
Peace
Thanks,
out,
Nathan.
brother. Love you.
All right, we'll see you in the 8th.
Peace out. Fucking one of a kind right there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for letting me do this with you. This has been a blast.
Thanks for having us. I mean, we've been really looking forward to dropping this trailer on people.
Yeah.
And so we really appreciate that we're doing it, on your venue, and we hope that everybody really digs it and shares the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sharing the shit out of this tonight and tomorrow. So
so that's the goal. So if everybody that's watching this or listening to this, if you could please share the shit out of this trailer.
Yeah.
Let's get it out to as many eyeballs as we can. We want it. Our teaser trailers got 3,000 plus views, and we want this to at least hit double that of 6,000 or more. So and it's all we're really looking to all of our followers and all of our fans of not just fans of the film, but fans of music,
right?
And fans of the Austin music scene, and the fans of the back room that that really hold this place as a really special place
Right.
in their lives. And so believe me, it really has been a labor of love. We're still not done. We still got lots more to go. We hope that we'll be dropping a second trailer sometime in the fall, once we kind of wrap principal photography. But don't be surprised if a couple weeks from now, a couple months from now, we start, hey everybody, we want to do a Kickstarter or some kind of crowdfunding effort. So at that point, by the way, we're also going to have merch. We're going to have the posters and the shirts and all
Nice.
that good stuff. So please, do as well. All we ask as of you for now is please share the trailer. Please get it out there. Again, thank you to everyone that supported us. We've gotten tons of great feedback. Yes, we get text messages in the middle of the night. We get emails in the middle of the night.
Right.
And that's all good and fine. We love that stuff. Again, we all talk with each other pretty much morning, noon, and night, but we live for this, and we want to make a quality product. We want to make a quality story. We want to tell a quality story. And so, but we just need your support to keep us going. So thank you all for having a part of us, or having us here, and being open to us. So, anything you want to say?
Just everybody be patient. Continue to share our page. Continue to talk about our film. And what I say, be patient, is if we haven't gotten to you yet, we might get to you still. Like Boudreaux said, we're still very much in production.
What's in the bag?
It's a fucking cat over there,
and it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, Adam, anything you want to say?
Just keep loving music, film, and local.
Nice.
That's all I can say.
Make it local.
Make it
Keep
local.
Local, and local.
Local.
Anyways, like I said, thank you again for this. It's been great. This cat's running around here fucking tearing up the fucking studio. So anyways, I end the podcast the same way every single time. Oh, you know what we got to do? I totally forgot.
I think the cat's looking for the cobra.
You're looking for the Cobra. We have a brand new Cobracast logo that we haven't even shown everybody yet. But anyways, here it is. This is by Billy Perkins,
my buddy Billy.
And
love you, brother.
So the deal was we've had two logos so far for the podcast, and with the whole COVID thing, the last one lasted about, I think, 2.5, 3 years, and we're almost on year 5 now. So I decided it was a new time. It was a time for a new logo and time to get it rolling.
Moving on up.
So here it is, people, the brand new Cobracast podcast with Bobby Sharron logo. There it is. So the old one is getting retired tonight. This is the last time we're using it, and we're all going to start on that brand new one tomorrow. So anyways.
Nice.
And the podcast the same way, every single time, people. People, please try to do the right thing, because Lord knows most of you don't. And with that, we are out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And one more little word from Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery. Peace out.
Good night.